Hi everyone, I'm Steve Main. If you want to reach out to me, you can get me at stevemain.com. If you want to find out more about me or just contact me, that's probably the best place to do it. Love to hear your comments. If you guys have comments on any of these videos, thoughts or opinions, love to hear your thoughts and get your interaction on this stuff. So, we're talking about tithing again. It's a topic I like, and tithing is a choice. And it's interesting to me because it's sometimes it's not easy to do because of fear, or the numbers don't add up. I'm not going to have enough money to pay my bills. I'm not going to make my rent or whatever it may be, the mortgage. If I tithe, because that's dipping below what my budget is needs for paying necessities. Malachi 3, starting in verse 9, you can read about tithing. It's in the Old Testament, obviously. And that's where, there's a lot of, or not a lot, I'd say there's some controversy about it on whether you should or whether you have to. But it definitely is pretty clear there. It's talking about God is saying, test me and bring in the whole tithe. I will rebuke the devourer and see if I won't pour out such blessing on you. You won't have room enough to receive it. So it's a choice. We make mistakes, and comparing it to, we make mistakes every day that are accidents. I might hurt somebody's feelings or say something that doesn't come out right, or do something that's offensive or a mistake. That wasn't done on purpose. That was an accident. But when it comes to the tithe, we get to make a conscious choice. We either choose to tithe or choose not to tithe. I believe that the tithe should go to your local church body, the church wherever you're attending. And that's what the tithe does. It supports that local body and helps them pay their bills, pay staff members, and so on. But it's a choice. It's not a, oops, I didn't tithe. No, you have decided not to tithe. If you don't tithe, you've decided that you're not going to, or you didn't. And it's not, oops, that was an accident. I accidentally didn't tithe. It's a choice. And it's liberating when you actually choose to give. It's liberating. And I know all my life I've been able to trust those words in Malachi 3. And in Matthew 7, starting in 24, that's the story, where if you hear these words and you put them into practice, you're on the rock. You're on a solid foundation. If you hear these words and put them into practice, if you do them, you're safe. You're on solid ground. If you don't, those that hear these words that Jesus speaks and the Word of God speaks, and you don't practice them, you could be on, well, you're on sandy ground. You're on sand. You're not on a solid foundation, because that's what it says. If you don't, and this doesn't just apply to money and giving, it applies to everything in the Word of God. That's what it says in Matthew 7. If you hear the words and you put them into practice, you're going to be safe. It doesn't always make sense, but when you hear them, don't try to analyze it, but put them into practice, you're on solid ground. If you don't, you're on a slippery slope. You're on sand, and you don't have a solid foundation. So if you guys like talking about money, if you like being offended by me talking about money, like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.